And now, the show you've all been waiting for. It's Vox Bellator. Games, comics, movies, it's all discussed here, live and without filter. If you aren't listening, what are you doing with your life? And now, give it up for your host, Sumotacular, and his co-host, the Smed. Let's get into it.
Hello everyone, it is the Vox Bellator podcast. This is your host Sumotacular coming at you live, and with me as always my esteemed co-host, the Smed. Smed, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing good, Sumo, doing good. As always, so happy to be here again. Man, this is so much fun. I can't tell you.
I have a blast every time, dude. That's the biggest thing about it. We do this because we enjoy doing it. We love just getting on here, talking, sometimes talking a little shit on stuff. And,
always. I mean, that's the whole point, right?
That's exactly it. Exactly it. Well, my brother, do you want to start us off? What are our topics for tonight?
Well, our topics are going to be some of the new Chaos Dread Knight stratagems, rules, and other things upon that. But first, I would like to start us on the Sisters of Battle new models.
Let's do it.
Man, do they look spectacular. I cannot say enough about it. And this is one army that we do not own that will be in my possession soon.
Absolutely, dude. And this has really got me excited. And it's always kind of made me sad. The Sisters of Battle, the Adepta Sororitas, they haven't really gotten a whole lot of love ever in 40K. All the models back in the day were all from what, like 3rd edition? Yeah?
3rd edition, and they were actually pretty decent in 5th, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
But since then, yeah, they like you said, they've gotten no love at all. No love at all.
And it's really disappointed me because they're a really cool army. They're nuns with guns. They are.
There's no better way to put it.
That's exactly it. They're super religious, extremely devoted to the Imperial Creed. They are the military arm of the ecclesiarchy, the religion of the Imperium that venerates the immortal emperor as a god. And they are also the Ordo Militant of or the branch militant of the Ordo Hereticus, which is the internal threats kind of division of the Inquisition. So they go around, and if you're doing stuff that's maybe not the best thing to do, like being a fucking heretic.
Something a little suspicious that's a little too close to Terra. You might wind up in their, bolter fire, I should say.
And speaking of the bolters, holy cow. Like, these ladies, it looks like Godwin pattern bolters, the standard ones you see that most of the old Marines carry around. And it really kind of sums up the difference in scale between Space Marines and normal humans when you see how large these bolters are in the hands of the Sisters of Battle. Like, it's night and day.
Absolutely. Like we said earlier, it looks huge in her hand. It does. I'm sorry.
The second time I've heard that, it does not get any less funny. I'm sorry. Absolutely wonderful.
It does. Like the bolters look. I love the scale they kept with. It shows their size because they're going to be strength 3, toughness 3,
right?
Like they should be. I mean, they're Sisters of Battle, but they're going to have, I'm willing to bet, so many great special rules and stratagems to go along. With hopefully a new codex that isn't in a White Dwarf.
Yes, please.
You know, to
Please.
boost them up and get them out there.
Yes.
That way GW sells more models, we get more players, we have more fun.
Absolute, and it's fantastic. I think the sisters, they really have needed love. You know, I hate that it's taken 5 iterations of the rules over the course of, golly, how many years? 17 years or so? 16,
17? Third edition, about 16, 17 years.
Yeah. It's been way too long in my personal opinion. And with this, if we can get some good stuff for the sisters, we can get some models rolling out, we can get a new codex, you know, just take care of them and get them out there. People will buy these up. If you make it a competitive army, if you make it a fun army to play with, if you make it one that can do a lot of damage and do what they're meant to do, which is take down enemies of the Emperor, yeah, I think a lot of people will be buying it up. I think it'll be a really smart move for GW, and I know a lot of people have talked about how, you know, the game sometimes doesn't seem very inclusive. I know we're treading into some weird territory here. You know, it doesn't seem like it's very welcoming of people of the fairer sex. First and foremost,
I do get that.
Yeah,
but like I'm saying, with these new models, which, you know, GW has been coming out with from oldest to newest, you know, newer models for each of them, which I'm hoping, for God's sakes, the Phoenix Lords finally get new models as well for the Eldar.
Please let that
off
happen.
topic. But with these new models, and as great as they look, they have to follow up with a great codex.
Yes.
To get people wanting them. People are going to want them in general, but to get people wanting them and building armies with them, buying them, like you were saying, making them, you know, playable in tournaments, even if it's just, you know, splitting it, you know, having Imperium and Sisters of Battle together, or Grey Knights and Sisters of Battle, which happens in battle a lot if you've ever read the Horus Heresy.
Yes.
But yes, I do think, like I said, with these new models, it's going to be a big change for 40K 8th edition.
Absolutely. The big thing I worry about, though, please, GW, don't let Matt Ward near the sisters. Not because they might be OP, but do you remember in the 5th edition Grey Knights Codex where the Grey Knights went up against this thing called the Blood Tide? It was like a nanomachine virus or whatever that got corrupted by chaos. And to protect themselves from it, they took the Sisters of Battle that were with them, killed them, and then like made sigils and stuff with their blood. I'm like, please don't put a rule in there saying like sacrifice one model from a Sisters of Battle squad and your Grey Knights get a 3+ invulnerable save.
Well, that was just as broken as the 5th edition Matt Ward Blood Angels Codex.
Oh God!
You could take a Blood Angels Dreadnought that has invisibility and can fly. Okay, I'm gonna take 3.
Yeah, right. How would you not?
Yeah.
It's like, well, you can't shoot at me, and I moved 12 inches. Oh, great.
I'm 2 inches away, and you hit me on 6s.
Yay.
It's like, yeah, that wasn't fun. And by the way, people, if you don't know, my father to us is the Emperor of 40K and plays Blood Angels, and always has and always will. And he abused that. Just
Horribly.
as he abused me with that.
Horribly. Big Papa Smed, he can find some screwed up combos and he will use them. And it is only if they're funny, though. Only if they're funny.
Exactly. He doesn't take the game serious, like tournament serious, even when he used to play in tournaments, and he still does every now and then, but even when he used to do it seriously, he would always take funny armies just to make funny situations happen, because those make the best stories.
They really do. And that's a big thing about this, with, you know, the stories, the feeling of community. Like, I love being friendly with folks at tournaments. I love joking and laughing, and I know you're the exact same way. I've met a couple of those guys in my time playing 40K, it's gonna happen.
There's always those guys.
There's always those guys.
It doesn't matter where you go to play. There's always going to be a few of those guys, which I get. Look, I like taking ITC tournaments seriously, or any tournament seriously. But also, it's a game. It's meant to have fun. Yes, it's competitive, but you're there to have fun. Make friends.
Yes.
Make memories. Make, funny situations. I mean, make the best of losing. Even if you're getting your butt whooped, make the best of it. Laugh about it.
Nothing's better than when your final squad gets wiped off the table and you just give little voices like, retreat, retreat.
Well, Sarge, yeah, I think we're going to teleport out of here now. I'm pretty sure we lost. No, stay in the battle. Yeah, see how we're set up is no.
But hopefully now with the Sisters of Battle getting some love, we can finally get people to stop calling for female Space Marines.
Yes.
Shut up. Nobody wants that. It goes against the lore. Go away.
And not only that, but the new models, as said before at the beginning, look fantastic.
They do. They look.
I mean, they look extraordinary.
So good.
But on to the next subject, though.
Yes.
The new Chaos Knights. Relics and stratagems that they got are insane. Not only insane, I mean, just the names they get are just so much cooler than the Imperiums.
This is true.
I mean,
this is very true.
I mean, Chaos Knight Dreadblades. I mean, come on, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Imperiums have the same thing, but they don't get these same stratagems.
No. I mean, you've got Rampagers, Tyrants, Desecrators. I mean, you've got wicked names. You've got freaking Dreadblade houses, Iconoclast houses, Infernal houses. I mean, what's not to love, man? It's so 40K. It really
exactly
is.
And it's not to say that Chaos getting their Dread Knights not very long ago was great because they got to dual wield the Avenger Gatling cannons,
yes,
or the the super powered what are those guns, the big barrels. My mind's went blank.
You're not talking about the rapid fire battle cannons.
Battle
right?
cannons, yes. Rapid fire battle cannons. I mean, you can have 2 of each. And that's already cheesy in itself. But these stratagems and stuff that they have now are just wild. That not only makes them better, it makes your army better using them.
Yeah, there's a...
I mean, it almost... doesn't seem fair, and I have chaos armies.
I mean, it's so crazy. I mean, we've got you've got Pacts and Damnations, that's for the Dreadblades, and so before you start the battle, 1 Dreadblade per detachment gets these. So you've got,
and by the way, it does not replace the Infernal Household keyword.
No.
It just opens them up to things called Pacts and Damnations.
That's it.
So they still have their household keywords along with these.
Yes. So you can pick 1 pact, or you can roll to try to get 2, but they're balanced out. You take this Damnation, and it's kind of meant to represent, how kind of crazy they are since they fall into chaos. But you've got like packs like Path to Glory, which when you're resolving an attack made by the knight against a character or a Titanic unit, you get to re-roll the hit roll. That's nice.
Yeah,
It's
or
all about the
the
meat.
I like the galvanized hole.
Yeah.
When resolving attack, made with the weapon with an armor penetration characteristic of -1 against this model, that weapon's armor penetration characteristic is 0 for that
Yeah.
attack. Which, I mean, when you're talking about autocannons, predator autocannons, things like that, things that uh, what the not warglaves, what are the other Imperium ones that
Oh,
have
the
the autocannon?
Helverins?
Yeah, yeah. No, Hellbrutes are Chaos.
No, Helverins.
Helverins, that's
Yeah.
it. Yes, I mean they're all -1. It's just they do flat 3 damage,
Right.
and turning that to 0 really hurts armies like my Imperial Fist army, which relies on Predator autocannons and Helverin autocannons to take down big stuff like that. And that is huge, especially when you're running, you know, the Dreadblades who are all hand to hand, which also, you can take the stratagem, which allows you, for every 10 people you kill, every 10 models you kill, you get another attack.
Yep.
Well, when you copy that with Dreadblades or even just a Chaos Imperial Knight with 2 Avenger Gatling cannons, you can take out 10 models per turn. Strength 6 -2, 2 damage apiece. Yeah, at 24 shots a turn, you can take out 10 models per turn.
Yep.
That should be very, very easy.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. For
I mean,
these guys.
just going on average rolls, even on an intercessor squad, you should get 6 or 7. And not many people, for some reason, don't run intercessor squads, which I don't get as cheap as they are now. And with the new bolter rule, blows my mind that people don't use them more now.
I can understand it. Now I've only got one squad of intercessors. That's pretty much I think the only thing I have with the Primaris Marines, the new Marines, is that squad of intercessors, and I dig them. I do dig them. But the way I run my army, it benefits me more to run the 3 or 4 squads of scouts with sniper rifles
Right.
than it does to run the intercessors. But
Well, see, but like I said, like we were saying in my Imperial Fist, I run 4 squads of intercessors.
right.
I ignore cover, so everything's -1. I can sit back at 30 inches and fire 2 shots without moving. I mean,
Right.
it's kind of a gimme on
Yeah.
armies like that, or Crimson Fist or anything along those lines, which benefits you, especially ignoring cover nowadays, which is humongous.
Oh yeah. And that's I think that's why I love my Centura Bears so much, man. They just long as the sergeant's alive, no cover. Oh, but it's Raven Guard that's firing at you. So good luck returning fire.
I gotta say, that's the one birthday present I regret giving you.
I don't regret you giving it to me at all. I'm just gonna say
that's what she said.
But hey, they have absolutely paid for themselves numerous times over in tournaments and such. They're pricey, 210 points for a squad of 3 with the base loadout, hurricane bolters and heavy bolters, but they killed a knight. I killed an Imperial
What more
knight
can you want?
Exactly.
You got your points worth.
Easy. It was fantastic. Made me so happy. But like you were saying with the -1 thing, if it had been a Chaos Knight with that particular pact, my regular heavy bolter shots, because I was running Storm of Fire on my Warlord, which that is a fantastic Warlord trait if you're a gun line, without doubt.
Oh, definitely.
Awesome.
I do it as well with a heavy bolter devastator squad.
Yeah. Oh God, yes.
And then do bolter drill. Oh man.
It's like, oh, these 6s are AP -2, and I get extra shots with them. All right.
Yeah. Talking about double stacking.
Love it. Absolutely love it, man.
But I'll go ahead and give you another one though on the Chaos Knights, a stratagem that I really, really, really like, it's going to work great with all Chaos armies, but most of all, I think it's going to work great with Khorne, is the Ion Aegis. Have you read that?
Yes, I read it. That is absolutely fantastic. I want to see these run with Khorne Berserker armies or just anything real good in hand to hand. I want to see these guys rushing up with those guys around them.
Oh
But
no,
read it.
100%. You're gonna see it because you're gonna see dual Avenger Gatling Cannon Knights in Khorne Berserker armies, and they're gonna spin that command point with that stratagem, and all their berserkers are gonna have their 5+ invulnerable. This one is 6 inches of them, which is easily done now with templates going in 8th edition. You can have 3 or 4 squads around one night.
Oh yes.
And you should see 2 if you're going to run them that way, charging up the board. And with a 5+, and then they have their, berserkers should still have a 5+ ignore, right? Or is it 6?
Berserkers, I think it's just a 6. I think they may just have resilient if they've got to feel no pain.
I'm pretty sure they have the craze resilient or something, but still having that 5+ invulnerable changes everything.
Oh yeah. So
I mean, as long as it's not mortal wounds, you're gonna get a 5+.
exactly, and they're a 3+, 5+, 5+ when they're around this sucker.
Exactly,
So
and when you're charging across the board, putting out 24 shots plus your your missile launchers that you have and your stubbers and everything else on your knights.
Mm-hmm.
God, man, like I said, these new stratagems and packs and everything are just insane.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I'm gonna get some Chaos Knights. Like I've got a lot of Imperium Knights, and you know what? I'm getting Chaos Knights. 100%.
But I like what they have here with the community. And it says, surround them with a horde of chaos cultists or another low points unit of infantry.
Exactly. What are you going to do? You going to shoot the chaos cultists? Okay, I have a 5+ invulnerable.
And you'll significantly...
on a 70-point squad.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. But yeah, it's like talking about this. It's also a great way to support already tough chaos units that lack invulnerable saves, like Plague Marines. It's like... Yeah.
Khorne Berserkers.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Especially if you've got a Knight Tyrant that is geared for more hand-to-hand, or, again, if you gear him up for shooting, because the Knight Tyrant is the Castellan equivalent for Chaos. It is the big, stompy, bulky dude. I mean, he's this setup they've got here. They've got the Conflagration Cannon, which is like a super melta, and the Thunder Coil Harpoon, which, you see that tank? I'ma shoot it. Oh, did I hit and wound? I'ma pull it towards me.
Yeah, I'm going to get it closer so I can charge it with all these Bloodletters and Khorne Berserkers that do insane amount of damage.
God, and
like I said, twin Stormbreaker cannons, twin Shieldbreaker missiles, twin Melta guns.
Yep.
I mean, come on.
What's not to like about this?
I'm honestly a big fan of the Desecrator. The
Yes.
laser destroyer and the Reaper chainsword and the heavy stubber. That thing is awesome.
Yep.
Great model too, or at least the concept of it that they have out. I mean, I know everything's pretty much Forge World right now or homemade. That you have to buy, but well invested, in my opinion. Well invested, and I'm sure there's going to be models out soon. If Games Workshop's coming out with these rules, they're going to be coming out with these models. And some of these pictures are real pictures. They're not just concepts.
Right.
So that tells you right there, they definitely are. It's just when, which hopefully it will be soon, because they got me suckered in.
Oh yeah. And oh my gosh, look. First off, I just want to take a look at the Laser Destructor real quick. It's a 60-inch range weapon. D3 shots, strength 14, AP -4, D6 damage, and if you roll a 6 on the wounds, you get
Yes, it's
D3
D3 mortal
wounds
wounds
plus
in addition to the D6. Or, so
to the
into the
damage. Yeah.
6. So you're
Yeah.
doing minimum of 7 at -4, which means unless you have an invulnerable save, it's straight damage.
Yeah.
And from what we've seen, playing around at our game store and all the other game stores and seeing online, people are shying away from Imperial Knights.
They are.
I mean, they really are, because everybody's taking stuff for them.
Right.
Numbers of shots have been taking them down with autocannons, predator autocannons, like we were just talking about, or even with Eldar, with all just shuriken cannons just being -3 and making them take their invulnerable, and they just add up because they're so cheap and so many, and they're losing their value. But with guns like these, man, one failed save can cost you half your Imperial Knight.
Yes. Yes.
And that's just with one gun.
It's so nasty. So nasty. And I really like this special rule on this guy, the Taskmaster.
The Taskmaster, yeah. Yes, I was about to say that. That is, I mean, it makes it even more broken.
Yeah, and what it is, folks, is it's running the Night Desecrator with 2 War Dogs. And War Dogs are the Armigers of the Chaos Forces.
Or Helverins.
Well, the Armigers is the name of the type of unit, because you've got Armiger Warglaze and Armiger Helverins, but these guys are particularly War Dog Helverins, and they've got War Dog autocannons. That's their weapon.
Right.
So it'll probably be exactly like the Helverin Armigers, just evil. So
very, very spiky.
Yes, and God, it's just it's absolutely ridiculous how crazy these guys are. I'm really excited to see them on the field. I'm super stoked for Chaos Knights. I think it's going to be just fantastic seeing them on the table, seeing what people do with them, and really getting to see what kind of destruction they can wreak once they
and it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Oh, it's gonna
and
be
not only that, the other one that caught my eye, the Cornate Target. Once per battle, at the start of the fight phase, a model with this relic can activate it. When it does, until the end of that phase, invulnerable saves cannot be made against attacks with melee weapons by that model, and invulnerable saves cannot be made for that model. It says that twice in there.
That's so
it's
so disgusting.
I mean, you can go up against plague bearer bombs.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And just charge them with a Chaos Knight and desecrate. All they get, they're disgusting resilient. They don't get 5+5+. All they get's a 5+. And when you're talking about D3 mortal wounds per one, and that's just with the feet stomp.
No.
I mean, if you're talking Hellblades, that's a totally different story.
Yeah.
That's a lot of attacks at a high strength.
Yeah.
That ignore invulnerables.
Yeah. And that's the neat thing with it, though. It's kind of cool because Chaos it's a little fickle toward its followers. Like, it can be a huge benefit, or it can turn right around and bite you in the tuchus.
It really can. And honestly, Chaos was made for Marine armies. I mean,
yeah.
In 8th edition, they really are. Chaos armies are made for Marine armies. They are Marine killers.
Mm-hmm.
The only upside I've ever found to running a Marine army against a Chaos army, which is usually half demons, is being Imperial Fist and not giving them that +1, to their cover.
Right.
And always having -1. But against all those demons, it was still my downfall because I couldn't get enough shots in to get through the 5+5+.
Right.
And then plus all the psychic powers they can do. And now you can drop, 2 psychers, still have your demon princes, you can still have your 2 plague bearer bombs or your plague bearer bomb and your horror bomb, and then have 2 knights running up behind it now, doing these crazy stratagems, and relics and everything else for 1 command point apiece. I've seen one that's only 2 command points, and it's well worth it. So it's insane, and Chaos does need it because the Imperial side, they got Primaris everything. They got intercessors, aggressors, interceptors, just everything. Reavers. I mean, they got everything that was upgraded from a normal Marine. It pretty much doubled it. You have squads of sergeants. You pretty much have veterans if you want, just running around. Chaos didn't get that.
Right.
Now they still had their marks and everything, which give them their bonuses, but they didn't get any of that extra oomph, if you know what I mean. And with the new knights coming out, a couple months ago, which really, really helped them. Now with these stratagems and relics and such, it impacts. It's really going to make them feasible in big tournaments, and I expect to see them in the next one we play in.
Oh yeah, definitely with the new stuff coming out, as soon as it's officially ready to go. Yeah, there'll be some. I expect I'll probably wager on at least 2 people running them. What do you think?
Oh yeah, especially shout out to Chris Hall. I'll go and give you a shout out. He's a big corn guy, and he was running. He ran 3 of those nights as soon as they came out the next tournament. I mean,
Yep.
I know he's going to be running some rampagers and everything else now with all these new stratagems that are going to make his corn army that much better.
Oh, so it's going to be
shout out to you. I hope I get to play you because it's going to be fun no matter what, because you're a great guy to play against. But I'm also kind of dreading it if I get to play you because it's really, really broken now. I'm not going to be able to put out that many number of shots to hold you before you get to me.
That's a big ouch.
Yeah, and also shout out to Richard, who ran the last tournament, but he usually plays in them, and he's a really good player, and he also plays Chaos, and like I said, he's already said he's going to be running them, and like I said, I highly expect to see these being played. Like I said, in the next, was it 2 to 3? I think it's 3 weeks away. It's the next tournament we're doing for ITC.
Yeah, believe so.
And by the way, we're located in Central Alabama. We play at Superior Games. Shout out to Superior Games, Paul. You run a great store. Keep it going because you're the only one left here.
Yeah,
I mean,
for real.
I mean, you're the only one left here for a reason.
That's exactly.
I'm just saying. I've been playing there 15 years. I've been playing this game over 20. You're there for a reason, big guy.
That's right. We love our local game stores, comic shops, guys. That's a big thing to me. I know a lot of people love to do online shopping for their stuff. I've done a few things through Amazon that I just, I couldn't afford to wait, a week or 2 to get it shipped to the store.
I mean, who hasn't?
And everybody's done that, but get out there. I know right now for things like comics and stuff, it's not great because of things like the direction that Marvel and DC have gone. Image is feeling the pinch a little bit. IDW's not doing great. It's kind of rough out there for your local stores. The internet absolutely has had an impact there. But also, you've got things like bad business practices with Diamond, who are the ones that wind up shipping all the comics to people and pretty much, tell you you're going to take this or we're going to stop shipping to you.
Yep, but they force them to take their hand. I mean, is what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of bad.
Yeah. So now more than anything, Support your local
Support your
stores.
local game stores. Exactly. Words out of my mouth, Sumo.
Yeah.
Words out of my mouth.
Show them the love. Get out there, do your thing. Make sure they know that they're appreciated, because that's
Even if you don't buy anything, go out there and hang out, talk with people,
Yep.
learn about new games,
Yep.
play a game with somebody. Always bring your army, or if you play Magic the Gathering or Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh, bring your deck of cards, because somebody's bound to show up, and that's what makes the game stores keep going.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the big thing right there. Make sure you're taking care of the guys who will take care of you on stuff. Again, just generate interest. Tell people about the stores. Let people know, hey, if you need to find this, go down to this. I know it's a little bit different for us, the South, a little bit more rural living, not as much of a base for things like comics and games, which makes it even more critical to support your stores. But
We've had 3 different stores closed down in the last 3 to 4 years,
mm-hmm.
and Paul Legion/Superior Comics has been the only one left.
Yeah.
And he's been there since I've started, and he's still there for a reason. He knows what he's doing. He can get what you want, and if he doesn't already have it, he will get it to you within a week.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another thing, folks. If you have cash, there's always a discount.
That's right. That's exactly right. Go
I mean, that's
in
it.
hand, folks. Go
cash
with
in
cash
hand.
in hand. So we're about 36, 37 minutes into this one, and I'm taking a look at some of this apocalypse stuff, and I kind of want to discuss it. But at the same time, I do want to hold off a little bit until we get the apocalypse stuff and we can have a real in-depth talk about all the rules changes and everything else that's happened.
Yes, I'd have to agree. I'd like to get the book in my hand. You know what I mean? Actually read it over, something that's printed out, it's full, that's going to be 100%, and it's not all hearsay, they say, she say kind of thing.
Right.
But some of the stuff that I have read, though, I will say, does sound epic, and bringing back blast templates is going to be so much fun.
Oh yes, and destroyer classification for weapon types and things. It's just like, oh yes, do it. I really love the way they set things up. You've got D12s now, and some of these are for saves. Like Terminators are going to be super useful in Apocalypse now.
Oh my gosh, and I know, and Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators used to just be the best thing to take for edition after edition after edition. Mm-hmm. And now with the new in 8th edition with Mortal Wounds coming in, it really just
hurt them.
It slaughtered them. I mean, because everybody has, or most people have, at least 2 to 4 sorcerers if they're any kind of chaos faction, or even if not, if they're Imperium, you have guns that do mortal wounds, or at least enough shots that you can't make that many 2+.
Right.
Like Eldar. Eldar can put out enough shuriken shots with just Guardians to desecrate a 5-man, 200+ point squad of Thunderhammer Storm Shields for 80 points.
Yeah.
It's really not fair. They really got burnt, but they were great for, a good 3 or 4 editions as well. So, but like you're saying, in Apocalypse, it's going to really help them. Like I said, bring that back. And I'm looking forward to using all my Titans and big stuff again.
Oh, I know. I'm so stoked. I'm ready to break the Land Raiders back out, man. Run like all 7 of my freaking dreadnoughts I've got. Run all my Terminators. Run, just whole armies of stuff.
I hope we're on the same side, man, because I'm going to bring out the Phantom Titan, the Revenant, the Knight, the 3 Wraith Knights. I'll have 25 Wraith Guard.
So for anyone
just hope you're on my team.
yeah, for anyone that's not aware, Smed is just the tiny bit of an asshole. Love him to death, but damn it, it's always heartbreaking because he'll pull out like the tiny Titan, the little Revenant or whatever. It's like, oh, that's terrifying. No, and then he pulls out the Warlock.
That's just a little knight, a little knight Titan, a little 500-point Titan, and then you're like, okay, well, here's the Revenant, 2,000-point Titan, and it's like, okay, I'm through with this. Here's my 4,000-point Phantom. Yeah. I'm not an asshole. I just come off as an asshole. I have fun with the game. If you blow it up, kudos to you, man, because I've had to sacrifice it in Apocalypse games before. Trust me.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, first turn, I mean, like Oof. I said, I told him, I was like, I'm going to jump this thing out in the middle. They're going to blow it up, and it's going to go nuclear. But it saved the two Warlord Titans that we had on our side to shoot for our first turn. Or our second turn, should I say. First and second. But like I said, I mean, I'm always willing to do the main thing. I could care less. I just have fun with it. But yes, he's right. I do come off as an asshole in some of my comments. Just who I am.
Look, everybody's got a little bit of douchiness to them. It's just a fact of life. Yet sometimes some folks you got to dig a little deep to find it.
Right, but it's all on how you take it. Don't take anything I say during a game seriously.
No.
I promise I will cuss at myself and my dice a lot more than I will even yell at you. Even if you're one of those guys.
Oh God. let me tell you, in tournaments and all that other stuff, I know when he's rolled a bunch of 1s and 2s because I just hear, oh, yeah, thanks a lot. Way to go. Really needed that to happen. Lost all this.
Or you'll hear in the background, shit the bed. Just little stuff like that, and then I'll laugh about it because, I mean, it is what it is. It's a dice game. Yeah, you're never guaranteed averages.
No.
Sometimes you're going to have great. Sometimes you're going to have average. Sometimes your dice are going to eat your own ass, and there's nothing you can do about it. And all you can do is laugh.
That's the biggest thing.
And a lot of people can't.
They can't. And that has always bothered me about some of the folks that play this game. They take it so seriously. And now I feel bad. Like my last match in the previous tournament, I went up against a guy who it was literally his first tournament, playing an army he didn't know well. He's playing Dark Eldar, and he played it the exact opposite of the way you want to play Dark Eldar.
I remember because y'all were playing on the table beside me on that game.
Yes, and
yes, like I said, it was his first tournament, first time with that army, and after the game, you were sitting there, trying to talk to him and tell him, what he could have done better, what he needs to do when you're playing Eldar, Dark Eldar. And that's why I just looked over and I told him, it's meticulous.
Yes,
you're going to have to use your stacks. You can't just take, this, and this, and with all that firepower, it's going to work. No, that's not 40K at all. Any army, you're going to have to take your stacks, your stratagems. You have to remember everything you need to do to make your army competitive. Mm-hmm. Do it the right way, but still, as we always emphasize, have fun.
Yes.
That's the whole point of the game. And I promise, if you play either one of us or any of our friends that we play with, you will have fun. Because I promise we will make you laugh, even if you are a serious player.
Yes. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. We can't stop laughing just talking to each other and talking about this stuff. So. Oh, gosh.
Well,
man.
Well, Sumotacular, I think that's a good segue out of here for tonight.
I think you're right, my brother. And I hope everyone takes what we've said tonight as far as stuff like have fun, enjoy the game. It is just a game. Take it to heart. Don't take it serious. always remember, we're here to have fun. We're here to enjoy ourselves. Whatever it is, whatever fandom you're a part of, whether it's movies, comics, video games, traditional games, RPGs, all that stuff. It's about the enjoyment of it. And if you get to the point where you don't enjoy it anymore, go ahead, take a break first. And if you come back and you still don't enjoy it, just part ways with it. Nothing wrong with saying goodbye for a little while. I dropped out of 7th edition 40K until 8th rolled around, and then I got back into the hobby.
I've had plenty of friends do the same thing, and they come back. Some of them don't. It is what it is. Some people take things a different way. My whole philosophy is, man, if you ain't having fun, why do it at all?
That's exactly right. Exactly right. But thank you all for joining us on this little bit shorter episode of Vox Bellator. I am Sumotacular, thanking you.
And this is the Smedhead, thanking you all.
And take care of yourselves, folks. And roll tide.